Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what we're going to do today is I have another mold from juliart-studio.com that we're going to try today. This is a citrus mold. I'm calling it a citrus mold because I've seen her on her website. This is done like a lemon, which is what we're going to do today. And I was thinking you could also do this as a lime or an orange, so it could be any citrus fruit, just according to what color you use. So this is the mold. It's very pretty. It's about a 4-inch mold. So we're going to do that. For the seeds, I'm going to use this lemon sherbet by this little piggy. For the outer edge in between the centerpieces, I'm going to use the eye candy Koi Yellow. And then for the little centerpieces, I'm going to put the Buttercup. And then we're just going to fill it with clear. Now, I also have an order for this huge owl. And I know he uses 11 ounces. She wants it done in blue. And she wants it with green eyes. So, she wants it a light blue. So, I have this little piggy blue eyes. And I have this Aoi Ringo blue from Eye Candy. It's a paste. And I'm going to mix up both of them and just kind of pour them both in there and let it do its own thing. So maybe it'll kind of swirl it around a little bit. And then I have this mold that I made. I did use the Let's Resin 0A Shore Hardness. That way I can easily pop this out. Very flexible. And we are going to try to make this today, and then you'll see what it is. I'm just going to mix up a couple of colors and just pour them in there. And we'll see how he turns out. So that's the plan. Let's get painting. I want to paint before I mix up my resin because I'm really bad to make a mess. And when I do make a mess, it takes me a little bit of time to clean it up. So before I mix any resin, we're going to try to paint this mold. Try to get those seeds done. I'm probably not the greatest painter either. They're little tiny seeds. I have a smaller brush like this, but I wanted to use this one. Those little itty bitty ones are just too hard, I think. Okay. I hope it looks pretty. The seeds aren't very uniform in size or shape, so no problem. All right. That yellow, every time I use it, it goes everywhere. All right. Just leave that sitting out up there. Now let's do the outside. Got 2 different brushes. I'm not sure which one's going to be better. I think this one's thinner. Ooh, I didn't clean it first. Looks a little dark, doesn't it? It's got some kind of color on it. Okay. Now, let's see if we can get this color down in there. I do want to get the side if I can. This is a handmade mold also. The molds from Juliart Studio are handmade. But she did get them shipped out very quickly. I ordered and had them within a few days, a week. It didn't take a couple of days and she had them already on the way to me. Well, I'm not getting enough color on my brush. I think I'm letting it all fall off. Just go right down between those pieces. They're still kind of more white, aren't they? Alright, let's line this out. This mold's actually not that hard to paint. I thought it would give me a lot of trouble, but it's actually pretty simple. It takes the color very well. That makes a big difference. Some of them, they just don't want to hold on to the color. One more. Okay. Get the center. All that's good. Now, when we do this Buttercup by Color Passion, we can use a bigger brush. Alright. That looks too big. Let me look what I got. That one's way too big. Okay, this one looks good. Ooh, it's got some bright orange on it. I think that one's going to have to soak. I'm going to have to put that in the cleaner. That one's stiff. How about this one? That one I think will work. Alright, let's just get some color and go over this. Now it doesn't matter if you get this color on everything else, because whatever color is touching the mold is what color is going to show up. I hope the yellows are enough contrast to be able to tell the difference. I hope they're not close enough in color. Okay, that is painted. Well, if I can get the right things on the right ones. Leave that. Let's get those colors out of the way. Set my brushes up so I don't spill the whole bag. Alright guys, I'm going to put you on a brief hold. It'll just be a second for you guys. And I'm going to start mixing up some resin. So I'll see you back in just a second. Alright guys, so I got my resin mixed up. I've got this Yonchun epoxy Part A, Part B Fast Cure. I have mixed up 16 ounces. I've mixed up 8 ounces in 2 different containers. I've separated, I should have about 5.5 ounces or 5 ounces in each of these. And then I've got 80 grams in each of these. So what we're going to do in these 2 big ones is going to put in our color. So I'm going to put my light color in there. And I'm going to put my paste. I'm going to have to clean my stick. Alright, let me get this. I don't know what the work time is on this, and I'm wanting to stick it in the debubbler if I can for at least 5 minutes. I probably should have looked before I started and mixed up that I've got to have 11 ounces just for the owl. Alright, let's clean this stick off. So I don't want to get hard resin in my paste. All right, let's mix this up a little bit. They always settle some. All right, now let's just take what's on that stick. Probably too much. All right, let's take that and put that in there. Now I'm just going to mix these up really well and throw them in the debubbler along with, I'm probably going to split these as well for this one to put some color in it. So I'm probably going to take a little out of this one and put in there, or a little in another cup out of both probably. All right. I just don't want bubbles. All right, that's that color. Still a lot of powder on this stick. All right, let's get me another cup here. Turn this on, let that equal out. We're gonna need another stick, a couple more probably. Okay. All right, 24. Let's go up to 48. It's going to be too much. So I've got 45, 55, 58. All right. $58. There we go. That's going to be for our lemon. Now, let's see. What color do we want to make that? Well, I am going to put a couple of drops of lemon since we're doing a lemon. Do 4 drops of that. And that is the lemon resin ink from Octopus Fluids. It's not an alcohol ink. All right. Let's do, what about beetroot? I think this is like a pink. Nope, it's a purple. Okay, so we got a purple. 1 drop's all I want. Yeah, that's going to be plenty. Scrape that off the side. I want it to be kind of clear. All right, purple, and I guess we're doing pink. So let's do, and this is a resin ink, beetroot. And then let's do hot pink alcohol ink for this one. I did 8 because this is a very light color. The resin inks seem to be much more pigmented than the alcohol ink. All right, guys, I'm not going to put that in the debubbler, but I am going to put the rest. So I'll see you back in just a few minutes. All right, guys, so I couldn't get the paste in the debubbler, but it seems to be degassing pretty good on its own. It just wouldn't fit with everything else in there. So we're just going to let the paste do its own thing. Now the yellow, I didn't put in there because this is a flat mold that I can get the bubbles out if I see them. All right. Let's pour our yellow in here. Just want to make sure it gets in all those little seed areas. And let it run out to the edge. I think I hear thunder. All right. I think you can hold just a little more. All right, that is full. That didn't hold much at all, did it? I had 2 ounces and it didn't even hold all that. Which is okay. Because maybe we'll need it for this one. We will see. Alrighty guys, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get the resin out of the debubbler. And we are going to go ahead and pour it. It's been 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all I'm going to give it. Just because this is a fast pour. I mean a fast cure. And I don't want this resin heating up on me. So we're going to set those colors to the side. I've got my pigment paste and my pigment mica powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little of this in there. And then we're going to pour some of this. I'm just going to keep doing that until I get it full. Okay. I want it to be dripping. Pour a bunch more of that. And I hope I measured this sucker right. Okay. I'm going to have to scrape this cup. But first, I want to squeeze this little owl. He's not little. I just want to try to make sure I don't have any bubbles down in there. I can fix them if they're not too bad, and it's according to where they're at. But I'd rather he look pretty from the get-go. Okay. Now let's get the rest of this. And let's see if I can scrape this cup. I have a feeling I'm going to need more resin. I think that I'd mixed up 10 ounces, not 11. So I might be short. I'm going to try to get everything I can out of this cup. And then we'll do the same thing with the paste. Okay. Pull all of that down off the bottom there. Now let's go around. And that is it. That's all we are going to get from this. And get all that down in there. Okay. Now I'm going to turn that cup upside down to let it drain and clean this stick off. Now let's see if we can scrape the paste. Man, we are so close. I don't know if I can get enough out of this cup to fill that up or not. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's go around. See what we can get. Alright, I think that's about it for that. I'm going to have to mix up about an ounce, and I think I will leave it clear and just dump it down in there. But let's get this other poured first. Let me clean this stick off. Okay. Let's see, there's the pink, the purple. Now let's get these colors over here. Try to pop what bubbles I can down in there. If my little torch would stay lit. Alright. Now I'm going to pour some purple down in there. And I'm going to squeeze this. I don't think I'll get any air bubbles, but it's possible. Now let's put some pink. And let's squeeze it again. I don't see any bubbles. A few little micro bubbles maybe. Pour some more purple. And these colors might just mix and it might just end up being all purple. Okay. Now let's go around this cup. There's all of that. Trip off. Now let's clean this one off. I don't think I need all the pink. I wonder if I can put some blue in this and dye it blue. And just filling that up. Or in the yellow. Yellow's not going to turn blue though. Let's see. What other colors have I got over here that's a light blue? I don't really want to use another pigment paste. Let's It's more of a green. What about this? Cerulean Blue by Saye. Oh, I haven't ever used it. Let's see if we can get this open without me getting it everywhere. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to go blue. I'm going to put quite a bit. It's a very light pink, so I think it will. And I think we'll be good. Then I won't need to mix any more resin. Yeah, that will work. Okay. Now let's finish filling this mold. All right. Now let's see if I can move this without. It's not really going to work. All right. Pop a few bubbles there, a few bubbles there because it's my own mold. Timu mold, why not? And this little thing usually doesn't even get hot enough to mess with the mold anyway. All right, now, let's see. Where's that little snail? Alrighty. I bought this from the Julie Art Studio. And it's a little snail mold. So we're going to finish filling this blue one up here. And these are like baby snails. Like babies. See if we can get some down in this one. And about a clear yellow. So we can paint these up a little bit with a pen when they're done. Alright, now I also have another little extra here we're going to try. And these are knives. They're holographic. Get it open. Ugh. Alright. Are you going to be able to see it here? It's holographic and it's got Scream and I think that's Michael Myers, maybe. That's not going to lay flat there. So let's put it here. Now let's see. Maybe put a little blue on the handle. Okay. Now let's do blue on the top of these ones. Now where's the yellow? And we're going to do yellow for the handle. I knew I would do that. Alright, now yellow for, if I could just hold still. People don't know how good they have it by not having a trimmer. Because this is so difficult. Okay. Now, let me close this up. Alright, we got a little bit of stuff left. Where's that little Now I'm losing stuff. Here we go. We're going to do this seashell. So I'm just going to get everything that I have left to dump down in here. And hopefully it's enough to fill it up. Alright, let's go around one time with this blue. And get the rest of that out of there. I'm going to clean this later because we're going to try to dump this yellow right down in here. And that should be green right where they meet. So I think it's going to give it some nice contrasting color. Okay, that's it, guys. Let me clean this stick up here. Throw that out of the way. I've still got a little yellow left. I don't know what to start. Do I have anything? Yeah, I have a dump mushroom here. I think he's a little bit of everything. This is just so I don't waste any resin. And we get some funky looking stuff sometimes. I actually have a bowl I made that was a dump bowl, small bowl. And I thought it was so pretty. I've got it at work on my desk. Put candy in it. Okay, one time around the yellow. And that fills that one up. So that is awesome. Alrighty. Let me get these gloves off before I stop the camera. I don't want to get resin if there's any on the gloves on my camera. Alright. Alrighty, guys. You can't see the little thing. These mold sticks so bad. There you go. Now you can see it. And the mushroom. Alright, guys. I'm just going to clean up, let this stuff cure up, and we'll come back for a demold. I'll see you guys then. Alright, guys. These have cured up enough to demold. Now, I know y'all had to be screaming at me when I was making that owl, because I don't know if it was because I was overly exhausted from working all day or what, but why in the world I put fast cure in a mold that deep is beyond me. This thing ended up with bubbles galore. It should have been deep pour. So I've repoured it with some deep pour, and it'll be a while before that thing is cured. But these are cured enough that we can go ahead and demold them. I hope. This is that little baby snail, his little antenna. I didn't get it. It broke off. Okay. Wonder if the other two are the same. As I didn't squeeze this mold and I should have. He has no antenna. And he has no antenna. So, yep. Alright. I know now to squeeze the mold. Make sure it gets down in the antenna on that mold. Alright. Let's do the knives. Okay. I don't know if you can see holographic in that or not, but they're still very bendable. If the holographic doesn't really show up, I might paint these. Here's the Scream. I don't know, I believe it shows up. Yeah, there you go. Guess I just wasn't doing it the right angle. And this other Scream. Those are kind of cute. And our shell. I love this mold. I think that is so pretty. Okay. And I will link all of these molds. Okay, all my colors the same. But that's okay. I think it's still pretty. I really like that. And all of these molds came from Julie Art Studio. And I will link them in the description for you guys. Now, this one is the one that I made. I don't know how it's going to turn out, because this is the first time I've poured it. It does look like the pink and purple have muddied up, which happens a lot. Okay. Now, like I said, I made this mold very soft. I think I need to turn it around where I can get a hold of this part. Let's see if I can pop it out here. Well, now, did I turn it too much? There we go. All right. Let's see how he turned out. Oh, perfect. It's a cobra. I really like that. It looks kind of matte at the bottom, even though it was shiny when I made it. The top turned out shiny, just not so much the bottom. Okay. That's all right. I do like him. I have a little bit of silicone on him. Have to clean him up. All right, guys. That's it for this video. I will see you guys back for the next one. See ya for now.